this is epic sermon wrap.
Yes.
Because Will Gawkin, I mean, this is the first time we've had like an outside guest on
It
our
is.
sermon wrap.
We're making history right now.
Last week we had Jake Jones.
That made history too.
Oh, it was. We had. I mean, our reviews, our hits went way up. This week we're expecting. I mean, mountaintop. We're gonna go. We're gonna. It's gonna be incredible. So anyway, good to have you here, Will.
Oh, it's great to be here.
Yep. We're have a focus weekend and something that Brother Jonathan put together, and we're excited about that. We're gonna be hearing more about that in our time here. But you're at Gospel Grace Church. You are founder of Gospel Grace Church.
In 2012, there were 4 of us.
Okay. Yeah.
That were part of starting Gospel Grace Church,
Yeah.
and then I was there just half the year.
Okay. Yeah.
The other half we were out itinerantly. This April, we went there full time.
But our church has benefited. I mean, I think there's a youth group. Our youth group went there to help. They would come back just blessed and.
So we do what's called plant camp.
Yeah, yeah.
And so the teens would come out, we equip them, share their faith, and then they go out.
And there's been fruits from that. It's incredible. And it was great to hear what God's doing at the church. I mean, Zero, you said there was 500 people there. This that was big about the numbers or anything, but that's
sure.
But
and that was it was just kind of odd, but but it is amazing to see folks there. There's people being saved, and exciting. We're getting ready to plant a church in 2020.
Oh, that's awesome. Amen. So Jonathan, Focus Weekend. Focus. What was your passion in that? You invited Will to come to this. Our Focus on Joy.
Yeah. So when we decided to have this weekend, we thought it'd be right in the middle of winter. When the days are short, there's not much sunlight, and we thought joy would be a good emphasis for this time. And I've always known Will to be a joyful preacher, a man who knows the gospel and is passionate about the gospel, and that's reflected in the name of the first church plant there in Salt Lake City, Utah, Gospel Grace Church. And that is always our need, right? For us to be reminded of the truth of the gospel, to root our hearts and minds in that, but also to let this topic of joy rooted in the gospel as a reminder for us to live our lives in a way that's reflecting the kind of joy that we can have in God through Christ. So I thought that would be a wonderful time of intense focus this weekend, and Will would be the preacher for our time to lead us in the weekend.
It's exciting. We've been going through Colossians.
Oh, great.
And like last week, it was like really not working for our salvation, but from our salvation.
Oh, great.
So one of the points was like focus on Christ and the gospel.
Oh, that's a great
It's a
segue.
great.
It is, yeah.
I'm glad I know that because I almost was going to preach out of Colossians. I'm glad I know that.
You're welcome. You're welcome
Right
to.
now.
No, it's like it's we can't get enough of that.
But when you think of joy, I think sometimes it can be a little bit like, what is joy?
Yeah.
And yet philosophers, I mean, they've been thinking about this for a long time.
Yeah.
And I mean, like your Plato and Aristotle, they kind of call it the good life.
Yeah.
And when you think of it that way, like, what is the good life? What is that we really want? It's like some of the most basic questions that people try to answer.
Yeah.
And I think
In search for happiness.
that's right.
Yeah.
And since we are hardwired in the image of God, He's made us to want joy.
Yeah.
And so what we're going to do this weekend is we're going to just kind of weave, not really with a hard and fast thematic progression, but really that the good life, or like the psalmist would call it the blessed life, or Jesus would call, blessed are they that.
Yeah.
But we're going to connect it to the sovereignty of God, because peace and joy are really, if you were to take the sovereignty of God from a macro level and put it down on just a real focused level, what do we get? We get really joy and peace, submission, practical submission to the sovereignty of God. And then we're going to look at really the blessedness of forgiveness, like being rightly related to God.
Yeah.
And then we're going to look at really how is it that the love of God can free me to love others.
Yeah.
And you think of people, when you say the word joy, they want joy to know that they're okay in the middle of all their problems.
Yeah.
They want to know that they're rightly related with God.
Yeah.
And most of us have issues in relationships.
Yeah, for sure.
And so hopefully this week can just be an encouragement for people to find their ultimate joy in Christ.
That's beautiful. Sovereignty, like this upward look, this inward look, and also our horizontal relationships. We look forward to this.
Yeah, what I'm excited about too is that joy that we have in Christ we'll overflow right in that peace, that shalom, that wellness,
Yes,
right?
that's right.
And we're going to be focusing on that even next weekend with our outreach. So this is, I think, a great time in the life of our church family.
Oh, good.
Where we're able to focus on these things, and then even it has that spillover effect into our city, our community. It's
great.
So, yeah.
Well, hey,
Well, I think your focus on this in January is so good. We're the same way in Salt Lake. It's just dark. It's cold. It's cold.
yeah, right.
We get what's called the inversion. It's kind of this pollution. You can't get over the mountains because the cold keeps it in.
Oh, wow.
And if we can just get through January and February,
Yeah.
loving Jesus,
Right, yeah.
and remind ourselves, that ultimately, joy comes in the morning.
Yeah, we run to sports like outdoor sports right now, skiing, and those are all great things.
Yeah.
But what about the day when we can't ski anymore?
Yeah.
And so where's our joy going to be sourced? When we
Right.
can't get out and enjoy. And those things are good. They give us great endorphins, but really when it comes down to it, we need our joy sourced
Yep.
in those good things. So
Wonderful.
that's our prayer.
Yeah.
Thank you, Will.
Yeah.
Looking
Yes,
forward to
thank
this.
you.
This
Looking
week we
forward
have
to it.
Thanks, guys.
tonight we have a meal.
Okay.
So this is Friday night right
Yeah,
now,
right.
and Saturday morning of men's breakfast, and then Sunday morning Sunday school, and also Sunday service, and then Sunday night. So we're gonna
That's
have a jam-packed weekend of focusing on joy.
It's great.
Thanks a lot.